there it goes. Everybody look up and watch out. It's Keep Up with Stillvinsane. I'm here with the rest of the Keep Up crew. Let's get into some motherfucking shout-outs.
Let's do this.
It's time for some motherfucking shout-outs.
And I'm here with my homegirl, Annie Sue. Put a little 3 on that name, and she has a shout-out for us this week on episode 105.
Yeah, so my shout out is for Exotics by Jazzy on Instagram. She does some great resin art. She makes smoke sets. So like if you like rolling trays and, crushers and things like that, she makes that. She makes self-defense weapons if you want that. And she also has all your 420 needs. So she has mushrooms, weed. She has nerds ropes, different kind of edibles. I love her. She works on a few things for me. And she's a great eyelash client.
Aw, wow, you're so good at promoting your people. I love that. Go Jazz. Part of the Come Up crew that we were part of. We'll discuss that in a little bit if we want to, because that's a pretty big organization. Who knows if they want us even mentioning them, but fuck them. I'm joking. Anyway, let's get into what's happening in some politics and some viral.
What the fuck happened?
Again, welcome, Annie Sue. We work together in Harlem, uptown, for an organization called Dream. They're called that now. They used to be called the Harlem RBI when we worked together. And welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Nice. We follow each other on Instagram, and I know you have a bunch of friends that are on OnlyFans, and I know a lot of people out. And so now we have Bhad, Babie, the one from Dr. Phil. Nobody is freaking on it. She's also a 2-time platinum selling artist. Believe it or not, this woman is very big on the trap scene. She's kind of like a younger, skinnier Iggy Azalea, like her trap music. And she does very well. And so she was doing very well for herself. She had a very tough going in the Dr. Phil. She went to like a boot camp or something like that. And she's the same one that went, what was it? Cash Me Outside.
Yeah, Cash Me Outside. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. How about that? How about And supposedly, Dr. Phil's got some fucking
controversy now.
Yeah, exactly. She called him out, particularly he has a revolving door when it comes to that boot camp. Supposedly he has a kickback. That's what it's called.
Yeah. It's actually funny because when that story first broke out, I had remembered that a few years ago, I had heard this girl had came out that she was being abused in that same camp. So when I heard the article, I'm like, this camp sounds really, really familiar. And I was like, this is not the first time that anybody has ever complained about it, but because Bhad Babie highlighted it, now it's getting a lot more attention.
Good. And to be honest, she has more credibility than him. He abused his son. And I don't know why nobody ever talks about that. He went to court for abusing his son. He's freaking...
Wow.
Yeah. This was a while ago. I'm not going to lie. But it's funny how, time heals all wounds. All of a sudden, Bhad Babie, because she shows her skin and gets paid for it. We all do that shit. It was a fuck. So let's get down to the big story. She broke a record. It was Bella Thorne. She was another 18-year-old. A lot of people salivating over that. So we're going to have to, unfortunately, get over that because there will be a day where we're not going to be. I don't know if there will be that day, actually. Probably won't be that day. But it ain't today where men are not gross. Men are definitely gross. I even went to go see the pictures. She is... yeah, I don't want to get into that. I'm 34 years old, so there's a lot of people out there. It is creepy to just go after to fetishize on 18-year-olds and stuff like that. It is creepy. I was even talking about it with a relative of mine, and we were saying that I do believe the people out there that say that developmentally men and women are not neurologically 100% until 25 years old. I'm with that.
Yeah.
There's too many perverts out there that make laws, and I think the compromise was 18. I think a bunch of them were 14. And
oh my God.
lawmakers were what the fuck? So I think 18, they came down to the middle. They were like, all right, you can hold a gun, you can get a drink,
Right.
you can drive at the time.
They're like, let's get them fresh out of high school. Why not?
Exactly. I was like, oh my God. Because even in Utah, there's they have like rules on like what's it called? Incest. There's like certain parameters if like you're a cousin and you are infertile in like if one of the partners or something like that, you're allowed to have sex. And I'm just like, I said to my brother, that's who I was discussing this with. I was like, what sick fucks were coming together and we're like, yo, we need to make a law about this, man. Yo.
The royal family.
Right? The royal family. That's why Meghan Markle, right? She was like,
right. She's the only one that's not a cousin.
Wrong turn. Oh my God. So crazy. So let's get back to the record. The record was 24 Hours by Bella Thorne. She's an actress. She's also a model. She's young. A lot of people think she's hot. She's from The Babysitter. That Netflix movie. It's a horror movie, The Babysitter.
No, she's from Shake It Up on Disney.
Shake It Up? That's right. Even
yes.
You're absolutely right. No, you're right. You're 1,000% right. And so Bad Baby made up. Well, supposedly she did, but I believe it though. I saw the tips, and she was getting it in, and that for that alone, to be honest. And they said that she made like $600,000 in tips alone. She made $1 million in 6 hours.
That is crazy.
Yes,
that's crazy.
That is very crazy. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I feel like, oh my gosh, because I remember like 2 years ago, I had made a post too saying that, because you can see like who likes certain posts on Instagram if you have mutual followers. So I would see that a lot of the guys I had on Instagram were liking some of her more exposing pictures. So I'm like, this is really creepy. You guys do know she's only like 15 right now. Like she's not even like past puberty yet. So I do find it a little bit creepy that it's like, oh, now everybody waited till she's 18. She made an OnlyFans. Now let's see what she's about. It's a little bit weird because that means they've been having the thoughts already. But then again, she also has a lot of young following. So a lot of them could be, within her age bracket, within 18 to 25 years old, hopefully.
Yeah, we can hope. But, no. You can't shame people away, man. People are going to do. And to be honest, it's like looking down on, like if you're on a tightrope. When you tell people not to, they want to do it even more. So I think that's a big, especially with men, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, my hoe-ass opinion. I think men are sick in that way that like we want what we can't have. I think women are that way too. Where they want, but
we are that way.
In fetish size way, want what they can't have. Women want what they can't have physically. What's in front of them, like a man or something like that, like a man that they want. Again, this is my opinion. There's no science behind it. Psychology. But in my opinion, with men, it's usually like what women won't do. That's what they want. They usually like either like what we're talking about right now, an age bracket. Freaky things in the bed, like old time, like what a woman won't do, that's what a man wants. And that's my opinion with that. And I think that's a big reason why we have the sick fetish. I think that's like one of the number one things on the internet when it comes to porn, like Pornhub and stuff like that. It's usually teens. It's usually 18 plus or like fresh this and that kind of stuff. So I'm not shocked at all. And again, there are other nations, unfortunately, that have even lower age restrictions.
They really do, and it's crazy.
Yeah,
I've heard of 11-year-olds getting married in different countries.
That's disgusting. And we're going to talk about Aretha Franklin later. And I learned only through the docuseries that she got pregnant at 12 years old on the road.
Oh my God!
On the road, and her father was her road manager. Not that like he
my God!
But like he was a preacher. He was irresponsible. So like he just like left her.
But it's like, watch your daughter, man.
Exactly. And she was so young, she probably didn't even know what was going on. Like, so crazy.
That's traumatizing.
very traumatizing, but so, and again, it took place in the South, so like very, and I remember talking to somebody recently, even on Black as Fuck, the show on Netflix, they talked about that too, like how black and brown, a lot of people of color, women of color, grow up so fast because, like we're talking about right now, fetishized at such a young age, the exotic look, all that kind of stuff, even with the age frame. Yeah.
That is so true. I feel like I was definitely sought after by older guys at a young age, like because I guess I used to be a dancer, like hip hop, salsa, and stuff like that. So in the dance world, the guys are really perverted. Like it's basically like, you know, we're all dancing partners, we're all whatever. They don't really see age, so it's like, you know, I was 16, the guys were like 23 and up, and they were like still trying it.
Wow, that's, again, and I don't want to really talk about this too often because I had talked about this before and I've made myself look like an ass. But again, legally it's fine, but again, it still looks creepy, even with Woody Allen.
Yeah, like morally it looks crazy.
Yeah.
But then you get to like 22 or something, and then girls are into older guys, and I know from experience because I've been one of those, you know. So it's like it all depends on what age you are and what point in time.
I agree, and again, it's not, in my opinion, I don't think it's something you should sought after. That's when it gets really nasty.
Yeah, that's when it's weird.
It happens, cool, if you have like a good time, you have like a one night stand, whether you're a girl or a guy. I know women, they go after younger guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's their thing too. Like, they even like openly admit that, and they have no shame. Even when they like read these things, like they're just like, I'm not gonna let society, like, I'm not doing anything against the law. But when you're like R. Kelly and you're like outside the high school, like that's a problem. That's a those those are the people I understand that like you have like this, the teachers out there that are getting away with molesting kids, which I see on an often basis, by the way. I'm always seeing, at least every week, unfortunately, every week a teacher molesting another child or getting caught in a relationship with a child. So unfortunately, the story, like, it
just brings up so many controversial things. It's crazy, like everything what Bhad Babie is doing kind of just like, I don't know, like it just opened up a whole conversation about a lot of things that people do.
It really did. And shout out to people with OnlyFans. I supported a couple this week for the first time. Supporting your people too, Sue. Why not? Why not? But go ahead. Sorry.
It's fun. It is definitely fun, but the creepy comments can get to you sometimes. So that's why I hope Bhad Babie is, you know, since she is a big celebrity, she's going to feel it a lot more than us normal people who do it. You know what I mean?
Or do you think she hired someone to manage it?
I mean, I would hope that she hired someone to manage it so that she's not reading and seeing the comments that are going to be there. Because some of them are sick.
Word. No, I had to do my research. So I have OnlyFans for the podcast because I didn't want to
for the podcast,
right? But when the story came out, there was like a bunch of reasons. So I was just like, why not? Let's check it out. Let's see what's going on over here. I had a couple of friends that were doing it and stuff like that. I'm like, why not? So I checked it out. I saw. You know, it's so funny. One of them I almost had a threesome with like a long time ago, like maybe like 10 years ago. So in my mind, I'm like, that was supposed to happen anyway. So it's not even that big of a deal when I saw it. I was just like, all right. Like, you know, this is like kind of like what I envisioned in a spank bank anyway.
Oh my God.
And it was the same thing with the other one. I was just like, what am I doing? Like,
I think that's like the thing that makes it so successful with us girls who do it regularly, because of the fact that, you know, there are guys who didn't see us like that. So they're curious. So curiosity kills the cat.
This is true. It's true. No, but I'm happy for people, man. I love direct-to-consumer marketing. I love the fact the porn industry was so heavily oppressed on women, and it's kind of like the SoundCloud game. It's kind of like the SoundCloud generation. Like the record industry the distributors, they were taking away a lot of the proceeds from the artists.
Yeah.
So women dominate the porn industry or the exotic industry or the modeling industry. Doesn't matter, whichever one you're showing, fashion and skin. And now that it's direct from consumer to you, to the marketer, to the person doing their thing, they fizzle on the OnlyFans or wherever. There's a lot of platforms that are doing it. Twitter.
Clips for sale.
Clips for sale. Cameo. A bunch of them are like that. And go get that money. Go get that money, man. Go take that. Because, like, we just legalized, and it's heavily owned by white men. You know what I'm saying? So that we got to find ways, and I think this is a perfect way. OnlyFans is a perfect way to liberate the female.
Definitely. And it's like people don't even have to use it for that, because I've seen nail techs, makeup artists, and people like that just sharing their tips and secrets on their OnlyFans pages.
That's sick. No, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you have insight on that, because it's so. I was reading on LinkedIn, and they were showing the top 10 companies during the recession or during this quarantine that had like made the most money, and obviously OnlyFans was one of them. Cameo I mentioned also. Innovation, man, innovation, and these kind of times bring that out, man. The porn, like I said, how, especially during a quarantine, how are you going to convince models and artists and performers to perform during a quarantine? So OnlyFans said, yo, perfect. Perfect timing. We're going to entertain each other. We're going to YouTube this shit. We're going to entertain each other. We're going to record, take pictures of each other, and we're going to, exactly, the porn. Take a seat, Pornhub. We got this. I think it's only frustrating for people when you have like Instagram models like Alexis Sky and girls like that making these pages, and we're like, you already showed us everything. Like, why are you making these pages? They get the bread. It just shows you that the industry didn't get them the money that they deserved.
Yeah, exactly.
For a while, and. Why would you need that? But that's unfortunate. Even I don't know if you remember True Life on MTV. Do you remember that docuseries?
Yeah.
They had the porn industry on there, and they had the gay models, and even the ones that were straight and they were like in gay porn, they got paid more than the straight women. And I'm just like, the cis straight women, I'm just like, what?
Oh, that's like this dude, Jimmy Smacks, that recently got super popular on OnlyFans because of he featured a tranny or a transgender woman. Yeah. So so that gained a lot of popularity because I think he's Trina's ex.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's dope. Wow. Right, you go from the baddest bitch to being the baddest bitch. I like that. Yeah,
so he features different fetishes, too. He has, like, midget women on his page and everything. It's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. And not with pedophilia, by the way. I think that pedophilia is a sickness. I do not feel like that's a fetish. There's a lot of people that try to make it a fetish. It's not. But a lot of the other stuff that's like just like S&M and the stuff you're just talking about, even like transsexuals, and a lot of people fetishize that. That's kind of gross. Not gross that like trans, but it's gross that they fetishize them, like, you know, you would do like an Asian.
Yeah, rather than them liking them for the actual person they are, they use them like, oh, that's a chick with a penis or things like that, you know?
Thank you. You said that way.
No, but that's another thing that porn fetishize, because if you go to like Pornhub, they have a section for like female and things like that.
Yeah, and that's cool that they do that, but like it's. Like I said, and even when it comes to people of color in porn, not to say that they need to socialize it, not to say that like we need to make like it's.
You don't have to distinguish like, oh, this is ebony women, things like that.
That's exactly what I'm saying. When it comes to that, do you need to make a better job of like putting like different images out there? Who's to say? Again, that's art. People make whatever art they want. But like you said, when you're being divisive with the categorizing, with the ebony and the midget porn or all that kind of stuff, it is demeaning. It is demeaning, and it does it contributes to what we said with Bhad Babie. Like it kind of like wires us and programs us, and like thinking that these things are like not normal, but like normal to like hoist up as like just a sexual fantasy and not like regular people
Exactly.
being into them. Yeah, you could be into them sexually, but like why only sexually? That's kind of crazy. So, my bad. And thank you. That was great. You were amazing. Thank you so much. That was great. Oh, my God. No, we had some really good topics on that. Who would have thought Bhad Babie would bring out a great conversation? She's not that. Yo, can't play her now, man. Yo, and even though she played it. There's a lot, like.
She actually has a few good songs. I'm not going to lie. I've listened to her music before. Yeah.
Oh, this Instagram. I like her Instagram. I think she's good looking, but I didn't say to myself like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Like no. But I attention.
I love how she's turned herself around. Like she preaches positive vibes now, and like she doesn't want the negativity anymore that was associated with her before.
There was a post, she reminds me of Cardi B a little bit, like on the come-up game. And stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely who she reminds me of.
Yeah, like being slept on and like just keeps making money. Kim Kardashian, like I slept on her for like a good decade, and now I'm like one of her biggest fans.
Well, I've loved her since the beginning. Forget Ray J.
No, you deserve the praise because I'm definitely a bandwagon fan. I'm more into the things that she's doing now, but before I used to judge her like unfairly of like how it happened and stuff like that, but like who gives a fuck anymore?
I would always tell people like watch the show. You would have such a different view on the whole family because they're such a dope family. Like I love how close knit they are. It's like it's like you don't see families like that every single day, you know?
True. She did pimp them out a little bit though. I will not like
Yeah, she did.
So let's get into the last topic on this one on the agenda for what the fuck is happening with my homegirl Annie Sue. Voting laws in Georgia. And so Brian Kemp, he got a lot of heat from Donald Trump during the election. That was one of the states that he believed the legislator was bypassed to count the votes. There was a recount, I think around 2 or 3 times, both in favor of Biden. I believe it was around 80,000 votes that he had won, and that was a big deal. And Stacey Abrams was a big part of that. And so now, because of that, everybody, pretty much the whole country, at least 97%, said that there was no voting fraud. When it comes to fair elections, when it comes to like courts and magistrates, not like Republicans and Fox News and Newsmax and shit like that. No, 100% pretty much. But there was no place of significance that said that there was any voting fraud. So that's why it's weird that like they're doing these voting laws with voter ID and voter suppression, because like it's based off a lie. Like I understand like something wrong really did happen, but there wasn't. So like now it's like bringing back like the old school like Jim Crow like oppression laws and their minority communities. How do you feel about that, Annie?
I think it's super frustrating because of how hard people have fought for the freedom to vote. So it's different groups fought to vote at different times. Like, you know, first it was the right for all people to vote. Then it was the right for women to vote. So it's like so many people have fought for the right to vote, and then now they're just going to take some of those rights away. And it's kind of offensive.
This is very offensive. I agree. And I know that they're like pretty much playing on the wordplay of minority communities, but it's true.
But we know exactly what they mean by minority communities.
Yeah. No, sometimes we're used as a pawn, actually most of the time. But but it is true, though. When it happened in, I believe, Wisconsin or Michigan, most of the provinces that they were suing to reverse the results of the Trump campaign and Giuliani and all that, they were black provinces. I believe the one that got caught with voter fraud in Texas, I think it was Abbott, Texas or something like that. They got, actually don't quote me on that, but it was Texas. I know it was Texas, and it was a Democratic city too. They got caught with fraud. And yeah, but that's like 1 or 2 cases, like in the whole country. And so it's weird, man. It's weird. I find it hilarious that we're the land of the free, but we always find a reason for someone not to vote. And I'm not saying one party is better than the other, but one party wants maximum amount of people voting, and the other one wants as little as possible voting. And I it's very weird.
It's ridiculous. And it's like, it's just this whole, ever since Donald Trump became president, it was just a whole desperate campaign onto who's going to be the next president over Donald Trump. It didn't matter. So it was just a desperate election and campaign for everyone.
Right? It was like the Mega Millions, man. We should have signed up. We should have did it. We could have won, man. We could have won.
Yeah, I feel like I had anxiety all those months leading up to who was getting elected.
Right. Right.
Like, is World War III gonna break out?
Dude, I feel like that all the time. And not even, actually, I didn't think that. I thought we had enough people to like mitigate that, to make sure that they put the training wheels on his dumb ass.
For a second there, I was like, oh my gosh, did these people really all just vote for Donald Trump? Joe Biden better win.
But I did feel embarrassed by him. I knew that the country would still run well. I knew that he wouldn't have
too much power.
Yeah, this country's great. Like, as much as I shit on this country's amazing. It's still the best country in the world. We have enough people like you and I that are just really quality people. So like, we want things to run well. I don't think there's enough people in this country that want it to like just go downhill like that. So yeah, when it comes to Donald Trump.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't really make a lot of changes. What was the problem was every time he spoke, it was just like word vomit coming out. And a lot of people took what he said to heart. So it's like anything he said that was kind of controversial, people took it literally.
Yeah. And we're already feeling like that.
Yeah. And it's like what you said about wordplay. He made sure that what he said wasn't racist, but it was still racist.
Yeah, they call it coding. They talked about it in the new documentary, The Reagans. They talked about it in documentaries that mentioned Nixon campaign. That's where they got it from. What's it called? The Democrats down south, the Southern. I forgot what it was called. It was something Southern, the Dixiecrats. You're right. They tried to come up with different coding words instead of saying nigger or something like that, controversial, something like that. They would code it in a different, like minorities or a person of, like, not a person of color. They would really like get like very sophisticated. And you're right. And Trump got guidance from those campaigns, by the way. So it's not surprising. Yeah, it's not surprising. It's not surprising at all. And
let's not forget his wife stole Michelle Obama's speech.
Yes, but that happens a lot too. I'm reading the Obama book, and his one of his famous speechwriters, John Favreau, he's very good. He gave him something that one of the excerpts was from Hitler's speech. So it happens all the time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they plagiarize each other all the time. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sure Trump and Melania plagiarize more often than like Obama would, but they all do it. But no, my point was, and I think you made a good point, but actually, no, you already made the point. Fuck it. So, right. Yeah, so let's get on to some music news. It's a little gloomy too, man. Damn it.
Motherfucker, fuck, did I hear?
Let's get it on. Right, DMX, I would say get it on the floor, but let's get it off the floor. Let's not do that. This guy had an overdose. He's been on drugs for a long time. I tried to see him performance-wise a few times. The last time I was Made in America, he literally got taken off the lineup like seconds before he was supposed to perform. I was looking at the app, like my nose was glued to it. In Philadelphia, I was like, yes, I'm finally going to see DMX. And then finally, I looked and it refreshed, and they removed his name. I was like, no! They said like he was on house arrest or something like that. Something happened. But anyway, so he had an overdose. He had a heart attack, and he was on a respirator. He was supposedly he was in a vegetative state. Right now, there's conflicting reports if he is in that vegetative state or if he's out of it, breathing on his own. But all we know, like I said, is he had a heart attack and he had an overdose. Are you a big fan of DMX, and how do you feel about this?
I've seen movies and stuff with DMX in it. I've never been a big music fan of him until TikTok came around. TikTok kind of like highlighted,
Yeah.
You know that one song with all the girls' names in it? And I've always heard of DMX because of, the raspy voice. So that's all I know of him. But I do know that drugs seem to follow a lot of music artists, and it's definitely something that is popularized with them. Like it's just not seen as a big deal with celebrities.
True. And he's lasted a long time for someone that does crack cocaine. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he really has.
For real, man. And he's sang at his trial before. I'm not trying to make a joke about someone that's on the down, but he's eaten Frito-Lays during one of his sentencing. And like I said, he asked his lawyer if he could sing "I'm Slipping, I'm Falling, I Can't Get Up" when he was getting sentenced one time. Like, his lawyer asked the judge, like, could my client sing one of his songs? And the judge was like, really? And I guess they let him. And there we go. That's legendary right there, man.
I wonder if it got him time off.
Right. And to be honest, I say legendary because that's a free concert. Imagine being there and be like, yo, I was prosecuting DMX, and all of a sudden we got a free concert. Win-win. But anyway, on a serious note, I love DMX. I grew up with DMX. He is a record holder, actually. He came out with 2 albums in 1 year, and he made 10 million copies off of Flesh.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, Def Jam, and it's Dark and Hell is Hot. That was his solo. That was his first LP. He was born in Mount Vernon. He was raised in Yonkers. He's the man. He was around Mary J. Blige and the Lox. And like I said,
I know DMX from the game Def Jam.
That's a great game. That is a great game. What is that called?
PlayStation 2 days.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, that's a dope ass game. Def Jam, something I forgot. Vendetta or something like that.
Yeah, Def Jam Vendetta.
Yeah, that was a dope.
Or Fight for the Streets too, something like that.
Yes, dope ass game. No, throwback. I love it. That's a good one.
That's rap battle game.
Right, Belly. That's a classic with him and Nas. Romeo Must Die, like you said, the movies you were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I know him because of Aaliyah too. That's right.
Romeo Must Die. That's right. And back in the 90s, it was him and Jay-Z. It was Nas and Jay-Z in the beginning, and then it was DMX and Jay-Z, and then it was Nas and Jay-Z again. But like I said, during like the late 90s, there was nobody else on the radio but Jay-Z and DMX when he cashed out.
I was 5 in the 90s.
Damn, girl, damn. Damn, way to get the fucking gray hair growing on my face on that one.
Right, I see it in your eyebrows.
And now we're going to date ourselves again with Britney Spears. Britney Spears, she had a New York Times documentary and came out publicly in her reaction, and she said that she was very, very sad about it. Right now there's a conservatorship. A law firm and a bank make 1.5% off of her proceeds, off of her profits. She went bankrupt a long time ago, and she was not fulfilling her requirements, and they were suing her for millions and millions of dollars. Her father swooped in. They did not have a good relationship, but her father swooped in and saved her, actually, and she made $60 million, and she actually is worth $60 million now, all from that Vegas deal pretty much. And now she doesn't need one. And now he still is a conservator, but he still like controls all her life. The conservatorship, you can't even get married without the conservator's permission. You can't work without the conservator's permission. And it's actually made for that movie I Care a Lot. It's actually made for older people. So people like Britney Spears, it's like very unique because like it's meant like if you do catch somebody with this, like they're like pretty much on the cusp of dying. They're in the twilight of their life. This woman's been on a conservatorship like since her 30s. So, I mean, since her like late 20s. So it's really bad. And so she's really, I don't blame her. She's really sad. So she still wants a conservatorship, but she wants to get rid of her father. Rightfully
So it's good that she acknowledges that she knows that someone else needs to be in charge of her finances and her life because she doesn't mentally have the strength to do it. So at least she can acknowledge that. But it's been really sad to see everything that's been going on with her because she's someone I actually looked up to growing up with the dancing and her singing. I loved her dancing all the time. I loved watching like her live concerts.
DMX, what's up with that, man? How are you at 5?
Listen,
DMX, very.
It's Britney.
It's Britney, bitch. You better work, bitch.
Exactly. Britney and Christina were like, top dogs back then.
That's right. And we're both Geminis, and we're both toxic. I know that. So, and that's my favorite Britney song, by the way. It's like one of my favorite songs of all time.
That's my favorite Britney song.
No, that's a dope ass song. I love, yeah. It's also I think of that Pitch Perfect movie too. I'm like, oh shit, let's do it.
Oh, it's that one, and I'm a Slave for You because of her VMAs performance when she had like the snake. Yeah,
one of the best VMAs. That's a very good performance.
That's what everybody be like, oh, Britney Spears can't dance. I'm like, did you watch her VMAs performance?
That's one of the best dancers ever. What are they talking about?
Right. I'm like, maybe now she's a little off, but she was the best dancer ever.
A beast. She was dancing with NSYNC, and they were very good dancers. Backstreet Boys, she was on tour with. Dude, she's a very good dancer. And
Madonna.
Yeah, and Britney's voice, I remember like from Star Search and stuff like that. Kids Incorporated or like the Mickey Mouse Club. She had a decent voice.
Yeah, I think it was Mickey Mouse Club. Yeah, she did Mickey Mouse Club with Justin Timberlake. How do I remember that?
Amen. Yep. So I get that like she didn't rely on her voice later in her career, but one of the reasons was because she was a very good dancer. Oops, I Did It Again. She's a very good dancer. I don't know why people would say that. Did you see the doc though on Hulu?
No, I haven't seen it yet because I'm like, it's gonna make me so sad.
Oh, yeah, no, it is sad. It is sad, but it gives you very good insight, and it doesn't. I don't think it changes anybody's mind. Like if you think that she should have conservatorship, if you think that she shouldn't, but like you said, overall, it's just sad, and it makes you. And I don't know about anybody else, but it makes me feel guilty, just like I felt guilty about the OnlyFans. I'm a human being. I have flaws too. But same thing with the Britney. Like I said to myself, like, damn, when they were asking all these like inappropriate questions, like about her sexuality, her virginity, Justin Timberlake going on camera, like on I think it was Hot 97, and he's like, yeah, I hit that. And like part of her brand was being a virgin. Like that was fucked up. Like I would have sued him for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Oh my god.
But yeah, no. But like misogyny, unfortunately, reigns supreme. So I was just talking about that with my brother. We were talking about Justin Timberlake and how he's like too big to cancel because with that fake ass apology. Like, but my friend, my brother's wife, she says that he actually is getting a lot of flack. Maybe I'm not hearing those waves.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it either because I thought he was still invited to the cookout.
Me too. Pooh your Ray. Said, yo, come on, Dad, get that potato salad, boy. Like, your legs, man. What you doing, boy? Like,
everybody knows we only loved NSYNC for him.
Right. I know we accepted the blonde Jerry curl. We accepted it. We were like, here you go, man. Here you go. Joe Frost tips, man. Jessica Biel's fake ass too. She was like, that's my man. He apologized 20 years later. That's my man.
Oh my god.
But no, sorry. But my apologies for me too. I'm just a fan, and I allowed that. Like even though I was young, like I still felt like it was normal. Like I think it was what was it? There was a famous one. I think it was Pierce Morgan. That he's gotten in hot trouble. Like he's been kicked off his show. But yeah, again, they were asking about her literal virginity, and she was like 18, 19 years old. And so, wow, it was crazy. This girl was performing in malls, and then now they're like trying to like freaking over-sexualize her. And not even just that, like, and they wonder why in 2006 she fucking shaved her head and shit. We caused that. That's what my point is. We all
actually saw, it's funny that you bring up like how they over sexualize her, because I saw this this YouTube compilation video of how they would interview actresses, celebrity actresses, and when they would ask them about how they prepared for the movies, they would only ask the women like, oh, how did you work out? What was your meal plan? Things like that, like, oh, who was your makeup artist? How did you get your hair ready? Things like that. But then they would ask the men, like, how did you prepare for the role? What kind of things mentally did you go through? But they didn't ask those same questions to the women.
Yeah, red carpet treatment. That happens on the red carpet. They do that now. And I'm glad. I think I forgot which actresses or actors, sorry, I like to call them actors. I forgot who, but they like you just said, they've called that out on the red carpet. They're just like,
yeah, I know Scarlett Johansson. She's called it out. I love her clapbacks.
Good. She can get problematic sometimes, but most of the time I agree with her stances. Sometimes she gets a little tone deaf with the whitewashing of film roles. But,
I know Robert Downey Jr. actually did an interview with Scarlett Johansson, and they were asking her, the girly questions, and he was like, "Oh, why didn't you ask me that?"
Word. And he
like, don't you want to know my workout plan?
Exactly. He gets paid way more than her. He probably has like the more expensive anyway. Like, yo, Robert, yo, move out the fucking way, bitch. Robert, what you wearing?
Like, what color is Iron Man's thumb?
Exactly. Like, he's like, the coke in my nose is worth more than your outfit. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
Let's get into right. Speaking of the red carpet, let's get. But good points though. Thank you. Those were great points. But let's get into some television.
Hey guys, I'm gonna step outside and finish. What the fuck did I watch?
All right, let's get through this quick because we took a long time with the politics and the viral news. Interview our homegirl Amy. So Godzilla versus Kong, that's on HBO Max. It's fresh on the Max right now. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard that Godzilla went down. No, not Godzilla. I heard King Kong went down.
I'll review it without spoiling it. So King Kong is in like this like habitat that they have him controlled in. Godzilla goes looking for him. They battle it out a few times. Then they team up against this big ass fucking mega robotic Godzilla. Amazing special effects. There's going to be a bunch of movies after this. There was a 2017 and a 2019.
Yeah, we need a backstory.
And so Legendary Films, they're making a multiverse of this. They're making like a cinematic universe, kind of like Marvel. And they're going to take all the monsters and they're going to like kind of do like what they have with Batman and Superman. So they're going to, not that they're going to like be like the Justice League or anything like that, or like the Avengers. But no, you're going to see them cross collaborate like they did back in the day in the Japanese films and the mangas and shit. So they're going to do exactly that cross.
Does the movie Planet of the Apes have anything to do with King Kong?
I don't think so. No.
But it would be cool if they were able to tie it in.
That would be.
Like where did this giant gorilla come from? You know what I mean?
Charlton, that's where he came from. You dirty ape. Get off.
Like why? It's like, ooh, it would be hilarious if they did like a parody to King Kong and brought in to King Kong and Godzilla and brought in Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh shit! And yeah, they're rebooting that too. They got like a 3.
Yeah, they are. They're making a live action of it. I have to see it for childhood purposes. I have to see it.
Childhood purposes, right? Forget DMX. Everybody else was part of my childhood, but
who is DMX? Stop it.
Okay.
I've never even heard a Tupac song, so you know what?
Right, and you said right, and then how you gonna disrespect Tupac and you use him in a joke before? You're like Tupac, like man, too cool for tuna over here, man. I knew a girl that her Instagram name was spicy tuna. I didn't understand it. I was like, why do you what is up with this? Why does it say spicy tuna? And I was like, does anybody compliment you for this? Does anybody go, wow, that's a cool IG name, spicy tuna? Like,
is that an anime reference?
I don't know. It might be. Maybe,
I think it is.
Maybe I'm not hip to it. So, they brought back the cast of each crew, Skull Island, I believe, and the other. And then both of them are good, by the way. I love the whole franchise. It's doing very well. What's her name? Millie Bobby Brown is in it. Alexander Skarsgård from True Blood and all that good stuff. They all come back together to pretty much cross collaborate in this film and bring the multi-cinematic universe. So you definitely should see it. Nikolai should see it too. It's not hardcore. I'm sure he's seen hardcore shit. No, I'm joking.
He plays Mortal Kombat.
Exactly. I was going to say, he reminds me of myself. So but I didn't want to, like, that's why I winked, because I didn't want to be like, yeah, you're a bad, no, I don't consider it a bad parent. At all. And actually, who cares if I think it's a good or a bad parent?
That's okay. He gets the attitude from me.
No, I like him. And so I could tell that, like, he watches good entertainment. He understands. So that's good.
Yeah.
Got good support behind him. I love you, dear. I love all of them. So the father is with Anthony Hopkins. My dad, he was around while I was watching it. And he goes, isn't that the guy from Silence of the Lambs? I'm like, yeah, dumbass. Like, what the fuck? So anyway, he plays this person with dementia, and the person who I think his name is Florence Zeller, the director, he also produced the play, and so he adapted it himself. And it's basically about him and Olivia Colman, his daughter. And you just, as the audience, you feel like you have dementia too. So, like, there's a lot of things going on, and you just see his downhill spiral. And it's very scary. It's very sad. It's very good. Like, the acting is excellent. Do you know anybody with dementia or Alzheimer's?
No, but I watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy. So I've seen a lot of Alzheimer's, with my patients on the show.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're like the Holiday Inn. Like, they had those commercials like, how do you know that? Are you like a doctor? No, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn. So yeah, I know a lot of people with Grey's Anatomy. They're just like, wow. Did you drop out of medical school? No, but I watched Grey's Anatomy. I watched a lot of ER. What's the autistic kid you said? Who's the autistic doctor?
Oh, the good doctor from Bates Motel.
Right?
The guy from Bates Motel.
I'm surprised they didn't. Doogie Howser didn't sue them, because Doogie Howser technically was autistic. Like, I know he was like a brainiac prodigy and shit like that, but that dude was definitely autistic.
Yeah, because I feel like you can get high functioning, actors to play autistic characters. So I don't understand why they make it so difficult, because there's a lot of them out there.
We're going to get to that, actually. It's a great segue. So Music is the Kate Hudson film where she plays Kazoo. Her nickname is Zoo. And the other one is Maddie Ziegler, fan over here, and only stan over here of Maddie. She played in the Chandelier video, and I believe a couple of other ones. So they've collaborated together. Sia, the music artist, so the writer for Rihanna, Diamonds, all that good stuff. She, the Australian, she barely shows her face. She's very good. I love her. I actually
I thought she was super young before. Like, I had never seen her face or anything. And I was like, oh, wow. I was like, oh, this is what she looks like. I had to Google her because you only see her with her face covered.
Yeah, and I think she got into an accident, too. She has, scars on her face as well.
Oh, wow.
But I've listened to her for a very long time, and when she used to show her face on the regular.
Of course, because you're back in the golden age.
That's right, pushing 65, man, pushing 65 all day. But, no, I love her. I love her music, and I actually like the film. The film got an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I got a 3 out of 10. So I was a little skeptical. Leslie Odom Jr. from One Night in Miami. He's Oscar nominated right now. He also has a Tony for Hamilton. I love Hamilton. He's a great music artist too. He got nominated for Grammys, and he actually has an Academy Award nomination for his. But
did he win a Grammy? No, let me stop. I'm just kidding.
I think he did. I'm kidding. I think he's about to go get that. What's it called? Rita Moreno has it. Damn, I forget what it's called. EGOT? An EGOT, I think that's what it's called, or something like that, or EGOT, something like that. Anyway, so to pose a question to you. So I saw this movie, we saw Atypical, you saw The Good Doctor. Do you think that they should do a better job getting people on the spectrum or people of that? I think, what's her name? Scarlett Johansson just had to back out of a role where she was going to play someone she was not of that community.
I definitely think it would be better because like they could get people who are on the spectrum but high functioning and have them in acting classes, train them for whatever roles that you want them to play, so that when they're in camera or on screen, it comes off as perfect or great acting. Because I think it's just the fact that they want to portray certain characters in certain ways, and maybe it might be hard for them to work with an actual autistic person. But all they have to do is train them. These are smart people. They're regular people. They just have a little bit of tweaks.
True. I think in this particular movie, I think they made the right choice, but I wouldn't be upset watching someone of the actual community play that.
I think it all depends on what they want the person who's playing the role to do. So if they want like someone who's autistic but a professional dancer, you're obviously going to go with a professional dancer who can act as an autistic person, because you don't know where you're going to find an autistic person who's this amazing ballet dancer.
True. She is a good dancer. And that's a very good point. Very good point. No, that you answered that perfectly. So the last movie on here before we get into the interview portion with Amy Sue, Genius. That's another collaboration with FX and National Geographic. They're both owned by Disney now, and so they're both on the Hulu platform. If you want to go watch that, I believe the season before was with Albert Einstein. I didn't watch that, but I listened to Aretha, another one that's on the EGOT list. She's on her way at least to get that. She has an Academy Award nomination for Harriet Tubman. She has a Tony. She has a Grammy, I believe. She's awesome. And she played in that Old Royale movie as well. She's the shit. If you ever saw the HBO series, it was a Stephen King book as well. She played from the Mr. Mercedes series. Very good. But anyway, so she plays Aretha Franklin. And very revealing stuff. Like I said, you find out, I didn't know. I thought that she got pregnant when she was like 15, 16, which is disgusting too, to be honest. That's still gross. But she got pregnant at 12 on the road, and her father was her manager. And so again, I don't want to make it seem like he was pimping her out. He was not. I mean, according to the movie at least. He just got caught up in the shuffle, and he shouldn't have brought a 12-year-old on the tour. And somebody gave her a drink, and again, that's not a 12-year-old's fault. That's nasty. And they didn't even know who the father was. They didn't even know the father. They pretty much raped her. They freaking date raped her. And in the show, you could see two people who it could have been, but you never really find out. And the father in the show too, he had done something like that too. That's why his wife left him, because he got a 12-year-old pregnant. He got a child pregnant, and it's a lot of nastiness. But throughout that all, that's why the docuseries is really cool, is because Aretha, you see, she still shines, and Aretha Franklin is in my opinion, the best voice of all time. I think Whitney, Mariah, they're all up there. Adele, so many people. Christina Aguilera. You can name any ones you want.
Jessie J.
Yeah, no, definitely. Juicy J too. No, I'm joking.
Oh God. No, but definitely Jessie J is definitely super underrated. She's actually covered I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston, and she sings it beautifully live.
No, definitely. No, there's lots that we could mention. I think Beyonce's gotten a lot better. I think
she still needs work.
She does. Okay, let's keep a real good ear to that then. Jennifer Hudson then. Yeah, Jennifer Hudson is a really good one.
I feel like Jennifer Hudson doesn't get as much popularity as she should because she sounds so gospel.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was actually having the conversation too. I think that she has one of the more powerful voices of all time. I would put her in the top. But you're right. She doesn't have great material. A lot of people don't write a good song for her. She does have some hits, but not nearly like Whitney and all the people we were talking about. Cool. Yeah. Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross. There's so many. Carole King. There's so many. Gloria Estefan. They're going to come out with a series for her and her husband soon. I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Me too. We're gonna get. I know there's a lot of Latin heat out there coming. They're gonna have the Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball story soon one day. We got to look out for that. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
He revolutionized television, and Desi Arnaz, he is of Latino descent, so he pretty much like shaped the game for television today. And a lot of people don't mention that. A lot of people always, and I love Lucille Ball. She deserves all the praise that she should, but a lot of people don't give the flowers that he deserves, man. Look, Cuban feet. I'm the reason. See, yeah. And yeah, and even when they got divorced, they kept Desi Arnaz, they kept Desi Lou Productions afloat, and again, they produced really great television. So let's do this. Let's get into the interview portion.
Yes.
Yes.
What the fuck did I say?
All right, I was having so much fun. Sorry that it took so long to get to the interview part. And you contribute so well. It's your fault. It's your fault. You know too much. You know too much.
I apologize.
No, it's perfect. I love it. Thank you so much. It sucks when I'm like the only one talking. I don't like that. I like that you're so informative. That's amazing. But I'm not shocked. You're an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is smart, man. And again, this is Annie Sue. If you want to follow her on Instagram, she is ANNIESUX3. Number 3. And again, we worked together in Harlem. Had a great time working. And I actually really mean that. You always made me smile and laugh. You have a great sense of humor. I found out you were a Gemini only recently, I think like this year. And I was like, that makes sense. I was like, that's why we vibed. That was one of the reasons why.
Why we see eye to eye.
That's right. We did actually. I loved working with you. I loved working with your sister. You guys were hilarious. You guys are a great group. Your mother, you guys are so funny. But again, let's get into your brand of what you do, what you sell, what you selling me, girl.
Yes, I do OnlyFans, of course. I get crazy on there.
Very entertaining.
Yeah, for only $15 a month. You feel me? But I also do eyelash extensions. I've been doing eyelash extensions since 2019, and that's been pretty fun. I went to beauty school. I had actually originally went to beauty school because I wanted to be a nail tech, and then the director of the school, she kind of sold the aesthetics program to me. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do facials. Fuck the nails. I'm gonna do facials. but then when I started the course, they actually had an eyelash extension day, so they had someone come in and train us. So I was like, oh, forget everything. Now it's just eyelashes.
Oh, look at you. No, I'm not shocked at all. I'm not shocked at all that you came out of that swinging. I've seen the eyelashes on people, man. Like, I get jealous. I'll be like, yo, let me.
Well, I get jealous too because I'm like, who's going to do mine? I'm over here beautifying everybody else, but it's so expensive. I'm like, I wouldn't. Mind you, I'm no.
Nobody.
Huh?
Like, considering, you're cool with the game like that, nobody, says to themselves, like, oh.
I do have, other lash tech friends, but the problem is that our schedules never line up. So we always want to do, a service for service kind of thing. But it's just.
That's mine.
But we always just have clients.
Damn. What is your favorite part about OnlyFans? What are we discussed this in the pre-meeting. What are the pros and cons? What are your favorite parts?
I think for me, a pro is that I've always been a super open person when it comes to things like that. I'm just super comfortable with my body. So it just came super easy. I was like, as soon as I heard about it, it took me 3 months before I decided to make my page, but it was because I just kept going back and forth. I'm like, is this something that I really want to do? And I'm like, fuck it, it's fun. I'm going to do it.
It's a big decision because there's a lot of assholes out there that use. It's funny because the people that do that, for instance, I'm trying to think of somebody like a celebrity-wise but for instance, there's so many examples of people that make laws that they break themselves. The Mayor Ford in Canada, he was big on making drug laws. He was big on making and he got caught and I think died off of a drug overdose of crack. People and I had this conversation and I don't mean to get religious, but I got into this little spat with one of my guests and I was talking about King James, and it's weird because she says that she's college educated and she doesn't know about King James, the most famous Bible ever.
Even I know about King James, and I never studied Scotland or France. Like, I just watch a lot of TV.
But there's a lot of proof that he was the homosexual, and
there is. He really was.
And he has the most famous Bible of all time, and that's the one where people reference that homosexuality is bad. Before that, there was nothing like that. There was just like Sodom and Gomorrah, and it wasn't even in Sodom and Gomorrah. That's about prostitution. That's not about just being homosexual. There was just a lot of debauchery going on.
I think they actually called King James the Bonnie King, and that actually means girly.
No, you're absolutely correct. So that's why it's hilarious. Like, I can't believe it's weird that she, there's nothing wrong with like being faith-based and like loving religion, but theology is a huge thing, man. There's a lot, but when you mix history in it, that's when it becomes more of like a discussion. Like, but if you're just like going to just be like all zeal out about it, that's why it's like weird.
Wait, this King James is the one from the Bible, like the King James Bible?
Yeah. Yeah, he distributed the most famous. Right now, that's actually the one that sold the most. King James.
So gay King James.
Oh
yes. Thank you for reminding me of this, because I actually got into a whole argument on Facebook with this guy I went to high school with, who recently like started reading the Bible. Now he's a fanatic, and he reads the King James version. The King James version. This is going to be so great to tell him. It's going to be so great.
He's born again ass. Fuck him. I don't know how we got on that. My bad. I didn't mean to get on the religion.
No, it's okay.
But, no. So with the OnlyFans, what was I about to say? Because there's a lot of dirt. Oh, my bad. Yeah. A lot of contradictory people out there. So there's a lot of people that like put a lot of pressure in areas where they're actually the most common offenders. So, like, it's like pedophilia laws, all that kind of stuff, and they're the ones in the child sex trafficking rings, the people that like are against immigration, stuff like that. Trump, he was the one who was married to an immigrant, Melania. So, like I'm saying, there's a lot of hypocrisy out there. So it is. I think it's brave. Because although there's nothing wrong with it at all, but where we are, how we are far behind in society. That's why that's why it took you 3 months, in my opinion, because like it's perfectly fine. Go make money. That's what you got, man. You're here. Like whatever skill you have, like whatever you got, go get it, man. And again, there was men making money off of women's bodies. Why can't women make money?
And I've actually since doing it, I've actually gotten so much positive feedback from people.
I love it.
Like, I really don't get anybody saying anything negative other than the guys that like get rejected, of course. But that's
I feel a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, because you were young when I met you.
I was 18.
Oh, you were 18? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't feel that bad. But when I be seeing it, I'm just like, damn. And you're not the only one. I'm friends with a lot of RBI people. Some people that
you're like, damn, Annie.
I know that you, not just you. The people I coach, I'm just like, oh my god.
Oh, that's different.
I know. I'm like, no, I can't. I know I have to like scroll through, but sometimes I see some of my colleagues and they be like, comment. I'm like, yo.
Oh my gosh, I know exactly. You know what? You don't even have to say names because I already know exactly what you're talking about. I already know exactly what you're talking about. I know who and exactly what you're talking about now. As soon as you said that, I was like, all right, I already know.
I'm going to give one more hint. They be wearing blue. That's about it.
I know.
That's all I gotta say. But I love them. I love my whole RBI crew. I really do. You guys are amazing. Every one of you guys. Everybody that worked, Jasmine, your sister, everybody. I had a great time with them. What are the cons? I know I mentioned my con. My bad. I mansplained that in there. What are the cons for you in the business?
The cons would be that I guess it's the comments when people are like, oh, who's going to date a girl like that? But little do they know I've been dating someone since September.
Yeah, no, there's porn artists that have There's
That's what I'm saying. Me and Khalifa is married. Like, leave me alone.
Well, she retired, but you're right. When she was active, yes, I think that's the same dude. And
but you know what's
bagging athletes? She was bagging athletes.
You know what's crazy about her though? That she was only in the industry for 3 months.
So we discussed this on the show before. A lot of people don't know this. So, especially the amateurs, or what we call amateurs. One of my favorite porn stars back in the day, her name was Brooke Amy Adams. And
I know who you're talking about.
Yes. So she's married now, and she lives in San Diego. And she's the one that put me onto this. Is that, and I think also that what's her name? Something Taylor. She did something with what's her name? Tamika Jones. Is it Tamika Jones? Tanisha Jones? Quincy Jones' daughter. They did the documentary on the porn industry. But like to your point, they only do it for a very short amount of time. They get a lot of work in there. They get a lot. So a lot of these people are married. A lot of these women are married, and the husbands know. The husbands are like, "Go do your thing." They only go 2 weeks, sometimes a month, sometimes 3 months, like you said. But it's like the max 3 months. And
they just fit a lot into that time.
Yup, and they just release it like as if they had been doing it for years. And they weren't. They weren't.
And it says the only reason she stopped was because she made a really controversial video with her hijab on. Oh, yeah. And she received a lot of hate from... Yeah. So she received a lot of hate from that and was getting her life threatened. So that's when she decided to quit because her family was disappointed. But I'm like, family would have disappointed before the hijab, probably.
I know, and hypocrisy. Back to hypocrisy. She mentioned it too in an interview. I forgot which interview it was, but she said that a lot of people that like were giving me that hate mail and hate speech and saying like, oh, degrading things and moralistic things and just sticking their nose up at her and shit like that. She was like, those were the ones that were jacking off to me the most. She was like, I was looking at my numbers and most of my numbers were coming from my own country. And they were the ones trying to ban me. They did actually. I think she's banned. I don't think she's allowed to go back.
Yeah.
I think like because it's a very religious state, the very Muslim faith based. I mean, obviously they have a lot of religions. There is no religious state, but but a lot of Muslim faith and a lot of, like I said, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of misogyny, and yeah, it's crazy. Like you can jack off to her, but you can't let her live her life. You can't let her be successful. It makes no sense. Well, good for her, man. She's a good sports broadcaster now. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you have to be completely comfortable with and open for, and just be open-minded with, because, you know, there's a lot of people who are going to look at you like you're crazy, but there's also, you open the door to a whole other community that's open to a lot of things too.
Yeah, no, and you guys have helped me. Like, I was prudish about it before. Again, I just did it to research now. I'm not into that like that. I like my free porn.
Me too.
Like, even though it's cool, like being like, oh yeah, you know this person and stuff like that. Even after a while, like if you do it for too often, when you fap off that and shit like that, it still gets kind of weird. You're just like, damn. Yeah, so you gotta like space it out. You gotta get variety wise. You gotta get back the old people back. You gotta bring back the old crew, the people from the amateur people that you'll probably never ever in your life. Because otherwise, like you like end up being like I said, like Only Stands. You end up being like an Eminem video or like a freaking Wesley Snipes movie with. Did you ever see that movie? It's called The Fan, and Robert De Niro is the fan, and Wesley Snipes a baseball player.
Yeah.
He goes mad hard. He goes mad hard. He like tries to kill him and shit. It's crazy, fucking crazy ass movie. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I like to put roadblocks and boundaries for myself, because even though I'm supportive, I want to support you. I want to support people that are doing this movement, because I've evolved with Cardi B. I've evolved with all this. So that's why I want to thank you guys, because you guys like just by living, just by like doing these type of things, just by like just being yourselves. It opens up my mind, because 10 years ago I probably would have been like an ignorant buck, being like, oh, like They actually saying exactly what these assholes were doing, probably.
Yeah, cause right now, like, is like, let's say, like how you said about Cardi B. Let's look at music for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Throat Baby is way more vulgar than WAP.
That song.
But WAP, for some reason, because she keeps repeating, you know, those three words, it's oh my gosh, it's the worst song ever. We're all going to hell for it, but we're not going to hell for Throat Baby.
Yeah. Is Speedy in that too, or what's her name?
No, in the remix, for Throw Baby is City Girls.
City Girls. I love City Girls. I love City Girls. I love Sweetie. I love that whole movement, actually. I love all those.
Yeah, me too.
They're great. No, you're 2,000% right. 2,000% right. Men, and it's hilarious. My old camp kid, Justin, he says the same thing. He says the same fucking...
Like the whole music video for Throat Baby was just like ridiculous. Like you had the baby just swimming on a tongue full of, snowboarding on a tongue full of cum. Like,
yeah, no room for the imagination, Quavo. No, none of that, man. No, I totally agree with you. What was I about to say? When it comes to, so like I said, some of my colleagues, my male friends, conservatives, he says the same thing. He says the same tired ass argument. Oh, this is cancel culture. You don't cancel this, but you say this is wholesome, and you wonder why like ratings are down and stuff like that. And meanwhile, the same guy I'm talking about, he puts up like Snapchats or like Instagram stories of him listening to hardcore rap. And like, you know, Ice Cube, all that type of stuff, 50 Cent, totally misogynistic with music, talking about getting the dick sucked, all types of things, groupie love, fucking all types, all types of, and I love it. I love hardcore rap, but I love it when women do it too. I love hardcore rap. I love when Lil' Kim says that type of shit. I love when Biggie says that type of shit. I don't want to. Maybe I did back in the day, but I don't want to discriminate anymore. I want Cardi B to be saying whatever the fuck she wants to say. She can be talking about farting, queefing, sucking toes. I don't give a fuck. She can be talking about sucking her toes. She can be talking to somebody like her doing S&M on someone. I don't care. She's her own person. That's what music is all about. You make the music you want to make.
Exactly, and I love that she says she doesn't let her daughter listen to her music.
She's a right to do that too. She's a parent, and more people.
Yeah, exactly.
More people should be parents. More people should not let the radio, the Spotify, the television, the tablet. You shouldn't let that raise your kids anyway. Like if you're gonna watch these things, you should try to make time. Again, I'm not a parent, so don't take any of this advice from me, anybody. You should be either watching it with them, but that's very tough. A lot of people are working. A lot of people have like 2 to 3 jobs. So that's very
But
tough.
not only that, like if they're on their tablet or something, you can hear whatever they're watching. So whenever I hear if my son is listening to something that sounds a little crazy, I turn it off.
Yeah, either turn it off or explain. If you're going to let them watch it, be like, yo, if they can handle it, if they can handle that maturity, be like, this is not real. Mortal Kombat, this is a great game. I was 6 years old when I started playing that game. My sick fucking ass. I was 6 years old and I saw my babysitter. I was at my babysitter's house and the babysitter had 2 young teenage boys. So like they had all the video games and shit. And I was 6 years old, first grade, and I come in and I see his head being ripped off their spine. And I'm like,
yeah, it's so awesome. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It's my favorite game. It's like he saw me playing it and he's like, Mommy, can I play the fighting game? Yes.
It must be tight when you whoop his ass. You're like, why are you so good at this? Like,
yeah. Yes, he gets so bad when I beat him, but I get so mad because my nephew is 4 years old and he beats me every time I play with him.
Oh my God.
And mind you, this is my game. Like I've developed pro status on this game. How dare you come in here at 4 years old trying to beat me on my game?
Oh my goodness. He's a handsome guy, man. You're raising a good kid, man. And he's very entertaining. I don't like kids, but when I see him on the screen, I actually smile because he's actually pretty funny. Smart, witty kid.
My little white baby.
He is pretty white. He is pretty white.
He's so pale compared to me.
I'm curious to see what baby fathers look like, but you actually get me. I'm like, what the fuck was this? What was it?
You know what? You know what's funny? I get this from everybody because I keep like so much of my life private.
Dude.
When I came out pregnant, everybody was like,
I was shocked myself. I didn't know. I was like, what? When did she get pregnant? Like, when did this happen? You showed it like very
like, who did it?
Who did it? Right? Can you guess who? Eddie Sue.
It's still a mystery today. Now let me stop.
Oh my goodness. We had a producer for Maury before, man, so we're gonna have to bring her back on. We're gonna be like, yo, Eddie, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what really happened.
Right.
We're gonna know, and that was a lie. That was a lie. Yeah, so is there anything on the rise? Is there another enterprise or another vertical that we should be on the lookout from Miss Annie Sue?
Well, I've been custom making strip lashes, so that's fun. It's a lot of hard work, almost as much as doing eyelash extensions. So I can show you. She has them here. So this is what I'm working on.
Yeah, I love it.
You see, so it starts off like this, and then I make it look like this. So I'm hand making them.
What do you think about my eyelashes? A lot of people think that I have very bitch-like eyelashes, and I'm not saying
they need some work. Now let me.
I do. I agree. I'm with you. A lot of people are like, when they look at my eyelashes, they're just like, some women are jealous. I'm like, why? I'm like, a man's eyelashes are like, yeah, exactly. Like some people be curly. I'm like, really? And
I've seen guys with some great eyelashes. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's all good. Well, you are the beauty expert, and you look like it, too. You got great hairdo. I said that in the pre-meeting. The color is really cool.
It's kind of like Raven from Teen Titans.
Did you do it, or did you have someone do it?
No, I did it. It's just, it was supposed to be blue, but I had purple underneath. So it kind of came out to this blue-purple color.
Yeah, you did a good job evening it out and everything. Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Well, where can people find you other than Instagram? Well, tell us the Instagram one more time, but where could people find you? Where could people give you some money? Where could people, to the cause?
I live in East Harlem still.
That's right.
Probably always going to be here.
Great. Charlotte's great.
Yeah, but so the next few things that I have coming up is the strip lashes. I might be doing a Taco Tuesday and selling birria tacos on Tuesdays. Okay. So that'll be fun because, I made them about 2 weeks ago and they came out awesome. So I'm like, and a lot of people hit me up asking me about selling them. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it now. So I'm going to get into that, and that's pretty much it. On Instagram, you can find me at _ANNIESUEX3. And on my lash page is lashed.byAnnieSue. So that one's, it's actually on, it's on my personal page. So when you go on my personal page, you'll see my lash page.
Where is your OnlyFans?
Oh, that is onlyfans.com/TINYSUE_. And it's $15 a month. No free links because there's a lot on there. There's a lot on there.
Nice. Great. Look at that. Got me all curious now. I'm going to have to support today. I will do that. I would have supported you earlier.
Everyone's eyes get violated when they get on there.
I'm not gonna lie, you be making me blush in the story too. I'll be like, damn, what is this girl is so like this girl has no fucks given right now. Good for her, man. But again, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you feel liberated like that.
I think it was the liver transplant, definitely. I was like, YOLO.
That's true, man. You have been through a lot. You are a trooper. Me, I don't go nude, not for myself. I'm not embarrassed for myself. I do that for other people. I don't want to scare people. I don't want to they're not going to pay for that. They're going to pay for me to put them back on.
Hey, you did show us that towel video one time on Instagram.
No, I didn't even mean
that. Was a lot. That was a lot for Instagram.
I didn't know. I thirst trapped on that, You it was so funny. You pointed that out first, and I was like, what is she talking about? And then later, I got messages after. I was like, oh, fuck, that wasn't even on purpose. I just try to be funny. I don't want to. That's for y'all, man. Y'all the beautiful creatures. We need to be looking at me. People either laugh or laugh at like how ugly I am. I need that. That's all I need in my life. I do want the abs and shit, but I want to be able to look at them. I don't want Instagram to look at them. Instagram doesn't need to look at my abs. Me, I like to look at my abs. And I like to look at like Janis Joplin. But again, happy Easter. Happy Easter to happy Passover to the people out there. Again, you can catch Annie on Instagram. You can catch her strip lashes. You can catch her on OnlyFans. You can catch her friends. Go subscribe. It's a great entrepreneurial skill out there. They're doing their thing. Why go for a webcam person they don't even know? Go for somebody you do know, man. Get your local community in there, man. Your local small business, man. Why not, man?
Right? They might be ugly, you know? No, let me stop.
Small businesses, small titties. We're not even talking about you. We're just talking about the small titties.
I was about to say, they're not small. Don't do that. No, let me stop.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but through R&D, maybe I will. Anyway, let's get out of here. We won't take too much of your time. Time is money. Oh, you can catch us on Keep Up NYC. That is our Instagram channel. You can Keep Up Shut Up is the Facebook page. Stillvinsane. You can get us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Actually, if we're still on the air, who knows? I said a lot of risque shit. Maybe the cops might come after me after this shit. They're just like, what the fuck is this dude up to? Right? Bhad Babie is sending a restraining order against you, Vince. Like, what's wrong with you? Anyway, you can stillvinsane.com. You can catch us on OnlyFans, actually. I don't have any content yet. I would love to put some content. Who knows, man? I might show that ass. Actually, I have shown my ass. There is an ass photo on friggin' Instagram when I was in the Philippines. Yes, so I did thirst trap it.
You're going to have to post it again.
Right, throwback up that throw ass. So, yeah, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. But thank you again, Annie. I'm so happy you came aboard. You were very entertaining. You brought that entertaining feeling that I get. I get to sleep in your story. I'm a big fan of your story. And so now I'm glad you have to get a bigger audience out of here to get to see what entertains me. So let's do this. Let's get the fuck out of here. You better shut the fuck up, listen up, and keep up with Stillvinsane and my homegirl, Annie Sue. Over. You're right. Toucan. Over and out, homies.